And I mean, I think actually your book and some of the others, Inconsolable, written by here in Austin, and some of the other books, one of the things they seem to do, and this is going to lead into what you're saying about some of the website stuff too, is I read this and I'm like, yeah, was so much more excited about watching old Muppet Show things, or having Arden sing a funk song instead of quoting the Wiggles or whatever. I'm like, that's more like it, and I'm not alone in that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also cuss around, and whatever.
You gotta try to get that into check. The older she gets,
I know.
Start absorbing that stuff. Yeah. God knows you don't want to set a bad example.
No.
There's
kind of a community building.
Well, yeah, there's a community, but I also think like it crosses sort of pop cultural boundaries. I'm in touch with this guy in rural Illinois who has a band called Little Nashville, and they play Toby Keith and Keith Urban and Tim McGraw style songs for kids. Not necessarily stuff that you or I would be listening to, but it's this guy, this is what he grew up listening to, and this is what he loves, and he wants to share it with another generation of kids. And so I think it's a sort of a generational desire not to give in to what we're being told is acceptable to do for our kids or play for our kids or talk to our kids about.
Yeah.
And I think that desire spans all different kinds of sort of cultural forms.
Yeah, I think you're nailing something there. I think there's also sort of just the idea of like, as opposed to, hey, go to camp, go to school, go to your kid movie, and I'll pick you up afterwards. There is a lot more of a...
I can't wait till I can drop my kid off at camp for a few weeks.
No, I'm not against that.
Any day now, really.
Start early.
I just need some time,
But there is an idea of like shared experience. There is this idea that let's go see a show together.
Sure.
And let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And these are these rock shows for kids that are popping up everywhere. Some of them are better than others, but I mean, in the end, it's like something that a family can do together and enjoy together. And when they work, it's a really nice thing to have.
Yeah.
And when they don't work, then you go try something else. And it's just the kids are going to have fun no matter what they do, but the parents are going to have a lot more fun at a rock show for kids than at Elmo on Ice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except that I don't know, Elmo on Ice was pretty.
Well,
I don't know. There were some moments that moved me.
I guess. I just couldn't buy into it.
So with that though, these communities, and I'm part of this too, at least what I'm seeing, a lot is in Austin with my family, is we are really relying on relationships with other families. Like we're loving the fact that we know these other families and we get together all the time, and we're doing a lot of that, and that's happening on the web a lot too. I mean,
yes.
like DadLabs, and you're starting now Offsprung.
Offsprung.com.
And that's a sort of similar sort of thing, right? A place for
like-minded families to gather and sort of talk about things. We're gonna have a bunch of blogs, and it'll lead into other stuff, other internet type stuff, and and there's a lot of that going on because I think there's a real hunger to meet parents who are like you. In Austin, I live in Los Angeles, and it's just harder to do anything and get together with anyone. But here there's it's a really nice there's a nice community of alternative families, but that's almost every family here.
Yeah.
So in some ways, like there's nothing alternative about it at all. It's just what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's a really fun time to be a parent.
That's cool. Well, one last question then, and then we'll sum on up. So you're kind of noticing that these different trends, and I think you're right that a lot of these different trends are just sort of a reaction, sort of maybe the same trends, but in a different form. But what do you see, like, if with parenting? What direction do you think we're going, like, in 10 years? Or what do you think that our kids are going to look back and kind of go, I can't believe my parents did it that way?
I don't know. It's hard. You can't really predict the direction this stuff's going to move in. I think what's going to happen is a lot of these parents right now, I would say 80 to 90% of them still have kids who are preschooler or younger. So you're going to start having, these parents are going to start having older kids, and I think there's going to be a lot more sort of parental involvement in schools, and I think you're going to see direct impact on children's education. Already I see like charter schools where I live springing up, and much more parental involvement in schools than has been there in past years, and I think you're going to start seeing that kind of influence, and I think you're also just going to see more and more mainstream cultural forms take, I think that children's TV is going to improve, and children's music already has improved, and I think you're just going to see this generation of parents have its impact. And then in terms of what the kids are going to become, I think you should maybe look toward the New York rock scene at the moment, as a preview, there are a lot of bands of 9-year-olds right now.
Yeah.
Really popular, like show. They play a lot of really popular shows, like bands like Tiny Masters of Today and Care Bears on Fire. You know, and these are all punk bands formed by the kids of early adopting hipster parents.
Yeah.
You know, most of whom were, the trend kind of started in New York. I mean, everything does. So. You know, and so you have that, and also I see some of that going on in LA, and so I think that may be a preview of where this is going to go. You're going to have a lot of 10-year-olds in successful rock bands. It's kind of weird, but at the same time, you know, it's if they're managed correctly, you know, by their parents, and if they keep it in perspective, I think it'll be a lot of fun. And so I think you're going to see a lot of 10-year-old filmmakers, and you're going to, you know what I mean? I think that when you've got parents who are doing something creative, you're going to want to do something creative as well. I think it's going to have a positive impact.
Wow, excellent.
I could be completely wrong.
Well, if you are, we'll bring it up and remind you.
Yeah, please.
So Neil Pollack, the book is Alternadad. It's a really, really great book. You can go to neilpollack.com and check out, or it's coming soon, offsprung.com as well. Thanks, Neil.
Thank you, Owen. Thanks for having me.
Have a pretzel.
No, thanks.
No.